I always enjoy January when Samsung releases their phone. Could they improve even further with the S25 Ultra? I'm Alex and I do down-to-earth tech videos. And here are the 5 things that I'm really excited about the S25 Ultra, all based on rumors and leaks, but we've seen so much footage of it already that I'm excited about. But there's also 5 things that I'm going to share here that I'm actually concerned about. The first thing I'm really excited about is performance, because Snapdragon has been great for the S24 Ultra and Snapdragon 8 Elite. I've seen what other phones have done with that without overclocking. If the regular Snapdragon 8 Elite is anything to go by, an overclocked version would be incredible, and that's kind of what I'm hoping for. I'm excited about it. Of course, the first thing that comes to mind is computational photography and AI. So I do wonder if the S25 Ultra will follow the same model of the S24 Ultra and get that for Galaxy version, because I have just seen a launch of a new product with that chip. To even imagine an overclocked version of that is crazy. Samsung has really been pushing that envelope here with AI, but when you look at the competition, they're not stood still, right? Well, Apple is, but actually they're not stood still, right? Apple seem to be going backwards with AI. I'm not sure, maybe I'm being too harsh, but who cares, right? You don't even have to look at Samsung, Apple or Google. You just look at brands like Honor, Oppo, OnePlus, Xiaomi. What they're doing in this AI space just feels like, they found a much better way to really utilize the power of Snapdragon, to drive those AI features and camera on-device processing. Next up is design and form factor. This is also one of my worries, which I'll explain a bit later. But what do I mean about design and why do I say form factor? It looks like Samsung are going now to this slimmer, presumably lighter model. And if these renders are to be accurate, it looks like they're going towards something like this, which is the S24 Plus from last year, with these nice flat sides, rounded corners, which I absolutely loved. Perhaps not so much the bezels, but everything about this phone is fantastic for the price as well that you can get it now. I've always preferred a squared off design anyway, and looking at this, it could be that we're indeed going towards a fairly familiar design from a fruit company. And I mentioned form factor because I heard some rumors of an S25 Slim version, which would be a really interesting option if it's true. As ever, I will be concerned about things like camera specs and battery performance, but in principle, it sounds like a great option for people who, you might not want a larger phone, right? You might want a larger phone, but not necessarily to go with the Ultra model. You might not need all those features, or perhaps you want to keep within a certain budget. I do wonder though, where that would sit in the S25 lineup, considering the S25 Plus. And the next thing I'm really excited about is the display. The phone of the year for me last year, I know I haven't released that video yet, it's coming, was the S24 Ultra, specifically because of the display. I haven't seen anything better out there. And what they've done with the anti-reflective coating, I know that it had a bit of a jumpy start with the colors not being quite there, but Samsung were, fair enough to them, they were quick to fix that. But will they be able to improve what was already an industry-leading display? And knowing Samsung, they're not known for going backwards on displays, right? So this really excites me. I'd probably put this up there with the most exciting feature. The S24 Ultra is already insane. Like I said, I've been trying some 2025 models already. There's nothing out there that comes even close to the S24 Ultra display. The anti-reflective feature that they've got here, that alone is such a nice feature. Every time I pick it up, I'm reminded about how great this display is. So to know that there's something even better coming, yeah, that's definitely getting me excited. If you reserve it, you can get an early $50 discount by using the link in my description. Look, Samsung doesn't sponsor me, I wish. But if you do use my link to reserve your Galaxy product, it really helps me. Financially, a little bit, it generates a small income that, it's a commission that honestly is not that important. But what's important to me is that it shows Samsung that my videos are helping customers and perhaps bringing new customers in or renewing existing customers. And that strengthens the relationship I have with them, which I really appreciate. With your help, maybe one day, they might even invite me to the Unpacked event in person. We live in hope, right? And the next thing I'm excited about is One UI 7. I've been saying this for a while, and I think, there's a lot of people that share this opinion as well, but based on what I've seen with the S24 Ultra and One UI 6, in terms of features and functionality, sometimes there's a lot in there that we don't even use as a regular consumer, but it's nice to go there sometimes and go, all right, you can do that with the software. It's an implementation of Android that I think, is really kind of exemplary in the industry. And here's just a few features that I'm really excited about, and let me know what you think as well. We now have a new lock screen, new notification options, and loads of fine-tuning features, all based on Android 15, which is great. The stable update of One UI 7, actually just today, is already out. It looks great. According to beta releases that I've seen, the animations are looking better. There's lots of cosmetic features that I really like. But the thing that's really exciting me about One UI 7 is this new bar, the Now bar. One of the things that I've been really complaining about when it comes to AI in general, across every brand, is the lack of contextual awareness, particularly when it came to the iPhone. I mean, I spent nearly 2 months using the iPhone last year, and I was like, sometimes I don't understand why, it doesn't know that I'm already using an app that, should know more about my behavior. And I think this Now bar is what that will do. I mean, it looks like a very personalized, based on what you're doing, based on what you like. That to me feels like where AI should be going, so that it's useful for you rather than being reactive, which is what I think the Apple implementation is. And the changes will come to the camera app too, which I'm particularly interested in as a creator, right? Lots of nicer control, for things like exposure, zoom, autofocus, and loads more, which I can't wait to share with you when I finally get hands-on with it. I know we mentioned AI already when we talked about performance and the cameras, but I am excited about an updated Galaxy AI. AI itself has kind of its own section now in all my reviews because it's so commonplace now that I just think it should be included. It should be something that we review just as we do with cameras, because more and more AI is going to become something that is going to become less of a gimmick and more useful. But the reason I'm excited about Galaxy AI in particular is because out of everyone, Samsung really seems to lead, in this area. There are other brands like Google, Honor, Xiaomi, loads more out there that are doing some awesome things in AI, but I do think at the moment, Samsung has a better implementation when it comes to things that you actually use. A lot of AI features, including the ones from Samsung themselves, like I said, are still seen as gimmicks, right? Being able to transform you into a cartoon or add things into a picture. They're great tricks, they're fun. I love the ones that are more, they are summarizing a website or helping you with writing. But here's the thing, last year in November, you may have seen this video, I did a challenge, which was supposed to be a 30-day challenge. It turned out to be like almost a 2-month challenge where I only used Apple products. The main thing I missed was actually some of the functionality in AI, like writing tools, for example. It's one of those things that became second nature to me. On a daily basis, I use it a lot. And that lack of AI features or the lack of awareness in the Apple ecosystem were very noticeable when I was only using Apple for a month or nearly 2 months. Now, the things that I'm slightly concerned about the S25 series, in particular the S25 Ultra. The first one is battery. The S24 Ultra, I still don't know if it was me, but the S24 Ultra has not lived up to the predecessor. The S23 Ultra, the battery was great, the camera was fantastic. There was not many issues with it. The rumors on the S25 Ultra don't suggest a bigger battery, still I think 5000 milliamps. But given the new chipset with Snapdragon 8 Elite, we could potentially get a more efficient battery management. I just hope that Samsung is not resting on their laurels on this one, because they could be, right, very easily satisfied with where they are and end up getting left behind. And I'd hate to see that. Not much has been shared about cooling, so this worries me a little bit too. With a new powerful processor, we should expect improved cooling. But cooling, as I've seen with the iPhone 15 Pro range in 2023, that can generate a lot of noise that Samsung probably doesn't want, right? It's just terrible marketing. I just hope that they manage to find a way of keeping the device cool despite all this power that they're putting in there. And talking about unwanted noise, the next thing that I'm worried about is the image quality. With so much attention being put into things like better zoom, more megapixels, I sometimes wonder if more importance should be given to just pure image quality. Right? Just make sure that the image looks nice. I'm excited about the camera upgrades too, but when it comes to image quality, I really just hope that some of the issues that I had, the S24 Ultra was exposure. Took a while for Samsung to fix it via software updates. And the S23 Ultra, I said it was almost perfect. The only thing that wasn't for me was the 50 megapixel version of raw images that had a lot of noise in there. I just hope that for the S25 Ultra, Samsung learned from those issues and just gives us something that works on day one without any problems in the camera. If you had the S24 Ultra or any Samsung device, have you experienced any camera issues, or are there any specific things that you hope that the S25 Ultra fixes? I'd love to involve you in these videos because my opinion is just my opinion. My experience might be different to yours as well. But when I involve you and answer questions that you have, I feel that, one, I learn more about the device itself, but I feel that the videos become more useful too. So yeah, please do share anything that you want to know about this new device. As I mentioned earlier, design is something that I am both excited and worried about. What worries me about the design, this alleged new design, is the fact that in order to keep things smaller and thinner, logic tells me that they will have to compromise on something. And brands sometimes compromise on cooling, battery size, camera features. So I'm kind of hoping that that's not the case with Samsung, but that does certainly worry me a little bit. The other thing that I'm worried about is storage. With an improved camera and a better processor as well, we're gonna see heavier files, potentially, better raw images, maybe better videos, and that takes up a lot of space, right? And I don't like using Google services for everything and uploading everything there, or any cloud services. So okay, you could just get a 1 terabyte version, right? But brands are not silly, right? They know that that's the next thing and you're gonna spend more money. And what's already not a cheap device can become really, really expensive. I know Samsung are always doing, some great deals at launch, but I'm pretty sure that the 1 terabyte version of the S25 Ultra is not gonna be one of those deals. But I also wanna know, what are you excited about? Let me know down below. There's also the link that you can use for the $50 credit towards a Samsung product. And yeah. Exciting times though. Next time we speak about the S25 Ultra, I'll have it in my hands. See you soon.